Maria Sharapova, the woman Alex Eala once called her idol, just said something about Alex that made this moment feel almost unreal. But what exactly did Maria say? And why did a few simple words from one of the biggest names in tennis mean so much to Alex? We're here to support our star. If you love tennis and Alex Eala, show your support. Subscribe to Tennis Hive and hit the like button. Because this isn't just another tennis legend congratulating another player. This is a story about a childhood dream coming full circle. Alex Eala grew up watching Maria Sharapova compete on the biggest stages in tennis. Before Alex became one of the Philippines' biggest tennis stars, before the major victories, before the packed crowds and worldwide attention, she was simply a young girl watching the sport and imagining what her own future might look like. And among all the players she watched, one stood out: Maria Sharapova. Alex has explained that Sharapova was her super idol when she was growing up. She admired not only the way Maria played, but also her mentality and the way she presented herself. Alex even remembered being around 5 years old when she first saw Sharapova. At that age, you don't know where your own career will take you. You don't know which tournaments you will play. You don't know whether you'll ever step on a center court at Wimbledon. And you certainly don't expect that one day, the player you admired as a child might be watching you. But that is exactly what happened. And it happened after one of the biggest victories of Alex Eala's career. Wimbledon, center court. Defending champion Iga Swiatek standing on the other side of the net. For Alex, this was not simply another match. She was facing a former world number one and the defending Wimbledon champion. And the pressure was enormous. But Alex didn't play like someone overwhelmed by the moment. She fought through the opening set and eventually won it in a tiebreak. Then she kept going. The second set became another statement. Alex took control and finished the match 7-69, 6-2. And with that victory, she became the first Filipino singles player to reach the Wimbledon round of 16 in the Open era. The tennis world immediately started talking about Alex. But somewhere inside all that attention was something much more personal. Maria Sharapova had seen it too. And this is where the story gets interesting. Maria didn't write a long paragraph. She didn't publish a detailed breakdown of Alex's technique. She didn't explain every tactical decision from the match. Instead, she left a very short message on Wimbledon's Instagram post featuring Alex's winning moment. Just a few words. And those words came from the woman Alex had admired since childhood. But we're not revealing them yet. Because first, you need to understand why Alex's reaction to this recognition was so meaningful. Imagine spending years watching someone you consider your hero. You see them win Grand Slam titles. You study the way they compete. You admire their mentality. And then, years later, you're the one standing on the biggest stage. Your idol isn't just a name from your childhood anymore. She knows who you are. That's exactly what Alex later acknowledged. At a homecoming event in the Philippines, Alex was asked about Maria's recognition, and her answer revealed just how special the moment was. Alex said Maria was really her childhood idol and someone she looked up to a lot when she was very young. She even admitted that if she ever met Maria, she would be starstruck. Think about that. Alex Eala has already played against some of the biggest names in women's tennis. She's beaten top players. She's played on center court at Wimbledon. She stood in front of thousands of fans. And yet the thought of meeting Maria Sharapova still makes her feel starstruck. That tells you just how deep that admiration goes. But then Alex added something even more interesting. She said that the fact Maria commented on her post meant that Maria knew who she was. And Alex basically considered that a win in itself. That is the real story. Not a dramatic accusation. Not a secret controversy. Not a hidden tactical explanation. Something much more powerful. Recognition. A player who once watched her idol from the outside had finally caught the attention of that idol herself. And now we can reveal what Maria actually said. After Alex's historic Wimbledon victory over Iga Swiatek, Maria Sharapova left a short message on Wimbledon's Instagram post. 3 words. What a star. That's it. But sometimes 3 words can carry a lot of weight. Because Maria wasn't simply reacting to an ordinary win. She was watching a young player who had just defeated the defending Wimbledon champion and created a historic moment for the Philippines. And Maria herself knew exactly what that stage demanded. She won Wimbledon as a teenager in 2004 and went on to become a 5-time Grand Slam singles champion. So when a champion with that resume looks at Alex Eala and calls her a star, it becomes a powerful piece of recognition. And the timing made it even more special. Alex wasn't being praised because of hype alone. She had just done something historic. She had beaten the defending champion. She had reached the second week of a Grand Slam. And she had done it while carrying the hopes of Filipino tennis fans watching from around the world. That is why Maria's comment matters. It wasn't about telling Alex that her journey was finished. It was almost the opposite. It was recognition that something was beginning. Alex is now reaching a stage where legends of the sport are noticing her. Billie Jean King also praised Alex after the Swiatek victory, calling her an inspiration for kids in the Philippines and around the world. And that creates a much bigger picture. Alex is no longer simply trying to become a professional tennis player. She is becoming part of the conversation. Her wins are creating attention. Her story is attracting fans. Her performances are being noticed by former champions. And perhaps most importantly, the player who once dreamed about becoming someone like Maria Sharapova is now being described by Maria herself as a star. That is a full circle moment. But there is another reason this matters. Alex is still only at the beginning of her story. She has already shown that she can challenge elite opponents. She has already proven that she can perform under enormous pressure. And now she is learning what happens when the entire tennis world starts paying attention. The expectations become bigger. The crowds become louder. The opponents prepare differently. And every new tournament becomes another opportunity to prove that the Wimbledon breakthrough wasn't a one-time moment. That is the next challenge for Alex. Can she turn recognition into consistency? Can she turn big victories into a sustained presence at the top of women's tennis? And can the young girl who once looked up to Maria Sharapova eventually become the kind of player that another generation of young fans looks up to? Because that may be the most important part of this entire story. Maria Sharapova once represented the dream. Now Alex Eala is beginning to represent one herself. And when your childhood idol looks at your performance and simply says, "What a star," sometimes you don't need a longer speech. Those 3 words say enough. The dream that Alex once watched from a distance is now looking back at her. And this time, the tennis world isn't asking who Alex Eala is. It's starting to ask just how far she can go.